It's the worst case of child abuse in Australia's history. Ashley Griffith convicted of more than 300 offences against children. But when Yolanda Baruki spoke out about police failings in the investigation, officers raided her home and charged her. Today was Judgment Day. Yolanda found not guilty. She spoke to Dan Nolan and warned our children are still not safe.
Yolanda, you're a 60-year-old grandmother. You've never had a criminal history, and for the past 16 months you've been facing the prospect of going to jail. How did it feel today to be finally cleared?
I feel relieved, and I'm so happy that it's over.
Yolanda Baruki emerging from court today with an unbearable weight finally lifted from her shoulders.
This is a case that should never have been brought against Yolanda Baruki, let alone pursued so vigorously by the church and police.
16 long months ago, she was charged with computer hacking soon after this interview with A Current Affair.
We didn't keep quiet. We've been very clear something is wrong, but no one done anything about it.
Yolanda was the former manager of a chain of Uniting Church childcare centres across Brisbane. Ashley Griffith was the director at one of them, where he committed unspeakable crimes against 11 little girls. In October 2021, a staff member filed a report that she'd seen Griffith kneeling over a sleeping girl, appearing to kiss her. Yolanda was part of the team that sent the report to Queensland Police. Officers eventually cleared Griffith and allowed him to return to the centre, where he continued his crimes.
If they will check properly of his devices, they definitely will find something at this point of time.
Soon after that interview aired, Queensland Police raided Yolanda's home.
What are you guys doing here?
We're here to execute a search warrant. Everything will be explained to you once we go inside, okay?
A grandmother with no criminal history, now confronted by 4 detectives armed with guns and tasers. The officers from Task Force Argos usually lock up pedophiles, but were instead on a mission to seize this whistleblower's devices based on a complaint from the Uniting Church.
Do you have any other questions at the moment?
No, we just appalled, that's all.
You what, sorry?
Appalled.
Appalled? Okay, I'm not sure why you appalled.
The shocking irony is that Queensland Police had been unable to obtain a search warrant to seize Ashley Griffith's devices when Yolanda helped file the complaint 10 months before he was arrested. It was Australian Federal Police officers who discovered more than 4,000 images and videos of his vile offending. He's now serving a minimum 27 years jail. Yolanda Baruki was brought to court last month on one count of using a restricted computer without the consent of the Uniting Church to cause detriment. The allegation was that she accessed confidential documents about Ashley Griffith's employment and sent some of the material to me at A Current Affair. The prosecution alleged that contained personal information of some children and their parents. The magistrate found it was not proven beyond reasonable doubt that Yolanda ever sent the emails. Magistrate Kerry O'Callaghan found the prosecution failed to prove 3 of the 4 required facts to uphold the charge, finding her not guilty. Yolanda later sitting down to speak with A Current Affair about finally having her name cleared.
Unfortunately, in this case, it's not winners. I don't feel like a winner because so many children being hurt and so many families' life was destroyed. And my heart is going straight to them, and my thinking is always what more should be done to actually stop him earlier.
You burst into tears when that verdict was read. How much stress has it caused you to have this charge hanging over you?
Oh, that was a big deal for me. As you said, I never actually have anything to do with lawyers, with courts. I was acting in good faith. I believe that's what needs to be done. And all of a sudden, I find myself being accused of all the horrible things I haven't done.
Some people have wrongly assumed that you did that interview with a current affair for money. I can categorically state that you've never been paid by Channel 9 nor ever asked for payment. How hurtful has it been to hear some people accuse you of that?
Very hurtful. There never was for me about money. The money, that was the last things on my mind when I decided I need to disclose how broken is the police system in this country.
Speaking out back then has really come at a heavy price for you. Why did you want to highlight the failings in this Ashley Griffith case?
That was horrific for me, even thinking how many children could be safe if the police will do the job properly. And I think whatever I done, there was only to protect children and to make sure that things like this ever happen again.
Jason Murakami is a lawyer from Behlau Murakami Grant, which has been representing Yolanda in the case pro bono.
In my firm view, Yolanda Baruki should be getting a bravery award and should not have been prosecuted.
He believes there are still serious questions to be answered by Queensland Police and the Uniting Church, who found no evidence of Griffith offending, despite a staff member seeing him, quote, moving his mouth along a sleeping girl's mouth.
Now, if that happened at a university, I can guarantee you that the alleged perpetrator would be charged. If that happened at a high school, I can tell you the alleged perpetrator would be charged. So there is a question here that needs to be answered. Why wasn't this matter advanced and this person charged?
Do you think our childcare system is safe now to stop predators like Ashley Griffith?
In my knowledge, nothing changed. The regulation in this country is more about how to make good money running childcare centre, not about the children's safety, unfortunately. In my opinion, no one ever should be by themselves with the children.
What needs to happen as far as an inquiry into this whole matter?
The strongest possible. We're talking about safety of the children. Children can't protect themselves. That is our responsibility. Police, legal system, regulator, blue cards, whatever is in place needs to be reviewed and set up all over again. That is not working. Very clear it's not working.
During Yolanda's court hearing, Uniting Church managers gave evidence as part of the prosecution, but then had to face their own grilling outside court. Can you tell us why the Uniting Church cleared Ashley Griffith to come back to continue abusing little girls at the centre? The church required Griffith to review the relationships with children policy when he returned. Yolanda's barrister, Patrick McCafferty KC, describing it as brazen hypocrisy that she was prosecuted for allegedly violating other workplace policies. How do you feel about those little victims that were affected after he was returned to the centre? Do you think the Uniting Church has handled this matter well? You've been inundated with support as you've faced this case, sometimes by people you don't know. What would you like to say to all of those supporters out there?
It was very overwhelming. I would like to say thank you from the bottom of my heart, because all the support actually helped me a lot to go through the 16 months of living in nightmare.
Thank you, Yolanda. It's been absolute madness.